Hello. I put it underneath my notepad. We're talking about volume 8 of Erha today. Not much going on. Don't know what we'll talk about, but we're here to discuss. I have a couple of notes before I just, chat with you casually as per usual. One that, yes, the new companion and the Gaywatch break room, or the break train, whatever you want to call it, is indeed a courier pigeon, and they really took that the extra mile and made him a little like mail pigeon with a mail bag and like the hat with a stamp on it and stuff. It's a little sickeningly adorable. So he is indeed a courier pigeon, if that affects your naming attempts at all. First up on the agenda, discussing volume 8 of Erha, is basically instead of was not the right way to start that sentence. Basically, from the moment that we joined Mo after his rebirth, or whatever you want to call it, so basically the beginning of this story, it's really just an exercise in what if, instead of putting hatred in someone's heart, what if we put love there instead? And what if somebody knows how well loved they are? And look at what a difference that makes in what a human becomes. So, been thinking about that for a while, thanks to Meat Bun, and about all the different ways that she answers that question, which is a little sickening. But in that, it is at least, somewhat that's meaningful. That's kind of a beautiful thing to be writing about, is having someone be well loved instead of, literally hatred planted in the heart, which is just metaphorical for so many different real life situations and problems in the world. That's at least a beautiful message to be talking about. The other thing I realized, in light of everything we learned in the last stream, is that, so you know how Mo and Chuaning's first time was not great, to put it mildly? They were, for lack of a better word, essentially possessed by an experience in the alternate timeline, So it was against everybody's will in that moment. Now that we know what we know, it's almost like their first time mirrors how Taisha and June was never in Mo control to begin with. Not really. He was being piloted through the hatred planted in his heart and his mind, his memory being fucked with. That just seems like a narrative parallel that she was going for. Having Mo forcibly carry out something that Taisha and Jun did. That hasn't escaped me at all. And I'm currently real mad about it. Real pissed at her for doing something that terribly effective. Don't like her very much. Still hate her, actually. And this only deepens the hatred. I can't. You should have seen my face when I was just sitting around trying to absorb. And I realized that that's what she was going for. She's not exactly, nice, Meat Bun. Which is funny because she gives you everything you want. But she also gives you everything you don't want. outside of that, how are we feeling? Oh yeah, Liv, thank you. Liv says, can I just say it was after they just learned about how baby boy Chuaning was all along and everything that went along with that. That was also around there first time. I'm literally only clinging to the fact that Chuaning knows everything that we are learning about OG Chuaning having discovered. That is my one lifeline. The only thing keeping me afloat is that he knows all of this. And not even necessarily for a he knows where to place blame thing, but also just for plot purposes. He is going to have a lot of information. And information is 1000% power in any situation. But in their specific predicament, especially. A vase of peonies, thank you for reminding me. You said, I'm hungry because voting delayed my getting ready for stream time. Thank you for reminding me. I'll also say this at the big stream as well. It's voting today in a lot of places if you are an American. A lot of places have elections today. It's Super Tuesday. And I am actually voting later on today because my Democrat mayor is up for re-election. And plus a couple other things. It's not a huge ballot, but a mayor's a big thing and you should be voting in any local election. So yes, I did mean to remind people that it was election day. Thank you, Vase. Making a note of that as we speak. Venus said when he falls to his knees in volume 1 when he saw Chuaning, he was so happy but didn't realize it. Can you specify? For me, please? I'm drawing a blank. Because it's been over a year since I've read volume 1 at this point. Oh, Henry. Like, hi, Henry, but Jesus. He said Morun was right that everything happened between him and Chuaning in the past lifetime was because of a flower, but it wasn't that flower. Oh, Henry. Henry. That's... Henry. Thanks for that. Oh. It does come back. It still comes back to a flower, but not, oh dear. I'm gonna be so livid on a reread. I'm going to be fucking beside myself. Which I already knew, but you know, now I'm knowing in a specific way. Oh, Blue said Morun fell to his knees the first time he saw Chuaning in this timeline. Oh. 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 Yeah. It was joy and he didn't even realize it. God. I accidentally sat down without getting something to drink. I don't even have anything to console me in liquid form at the moment. I just have to sit here with these realizations. Jesus. Love the poll is just in general. We've been doing these book chats for a little bit now, and like it's a nice like casual chatty vibe that's typically stays on topic, but sometimes drift. And like, it's nice. It's sweet. It's simple. It's fun. Like I'm down for what have you. So I was just tossing out a poll to see if anyone was looking for anything else, which I could really only break down into the categories more structure or more chaos. So here we are. Selfie says you just wanted to use your poll superpower. I mean, also that. I do love a poll, but they are genuinely handy for moments such as this, when I need feedback about something. I just so happen to, be indulging both right now. Oh, Henry votes chaos. I'm stunned that you love chaos. I couldn't find my cat earlier to make sure that he was in the room that he needs to be in. And now he has appeared just outside my door to holler. So one brief moment, please, while I go, appease the beast, as it were. Hang on just a second. Lord. Did I use that opportunity to get myself something to drink? No, of course not. Why would I do that? Let me see. I'm just trying to get caught up on the chat real quick. Oh, Liv said something. Liv said me and Maddie were talking about how the flower feels like one can descend from depression into like manic depression due to triggers. That indeed sounds deeply accurate. In fact, where are any... Do we have any interviews with Meat Bun about Erha? And if so, could I be linked to said interviews? And this was also a story that was published in Pieces Online, right? So there should be author notes. I would love to get my hands on those to be, read and watched after I'm done reading. Oh, there's an interview in a German magazine from just a few months back. Thank you, Henry. It has spoilers for the end, so I wait to read any interview or like comments from a creator, author, what have you, about anything until after I'm done reading it for spoilers, but also that's just personal preference. I'm sorry, Henry, aren't the author notes mostly silly animal AU mini theaters? What? That sounds, you know what that reminds me of? That actually sounds oddly appropriate. Because boy, I tell you, the more dire and serious a story is, like the sillier the fandom is. It's my first experience of this was the Hannibal fandom, so I call it the Hannibal effect. If you have the most deadly serious story, you will have some of the silliest bitches in that fandom. And sometimes the call is coming from inside the house and the silly bitch is the writer herself. Yeah, see? Minkit says we Fannibals were everywhere in Flower Crowns. Who doesn't remember the Hannibal Flower Crowns? If you were in fandom around that time, so in like the mid 2010s, I feel like you didn't even have to be in the Hannibal fandom to know about the Flower Crowns and the Nightmare Stag. Like, oh, evasive P, and he says coping mechanisms. You know? I hadn't thought of that. That's a good point. That's certainly part of it. And like having something so unbelievably dark, it's like the it's almost like the balance. Like we don't need to have typically, obviously, and this is just generally speaking, but like if the content is super dark, then fan works and fans typically at least try to counterbalance that. And ditto, but to a somewhat lesser extent, if you have like really fluffy canon to work off of, there will absolutely also be people who take that to like the darkest place imaginable. Although I think the Hannibal effect is more common. Yeah, see, Tuxedo Cat, it's like us with tangerines and beach episodes. Yes, exactly. If you can't throw tangerines at the problem that is all of Erha, then you might go insane. Minkit has the Nightmare Stag joke. Yep. Henry, are you going to be literally eating tangerines? That's dedication at this moment. I wonder if Meat Bun is going to have so much fun with her little wood jokes about Chuaning in the prose itself that she won't need that to bubble over into actual text, or if she's going to maybe like at the very end when everything ends all beautifully and rosy and everyone we care about is alive and loving each other, and you know that ending, when that ending is happening, like maybe she slides in a couple of wood jokes like in canon, like coming out of a character's mouth, like if Shui Meng knew about this, please. Selfie with in all caps, I want Nengongsa back. Don't remind me. Every now and then I remember Nengongsa and it causes me emotional pain. And you know that motherfucker's name is going to be invoked at some point. Again. at least a couple of times. We have plenty of volumes left. A vase of peonies. You have a tangerine paint. Oh, whoa, pardon me. There, you have a painting of of one or more tangerines. Excuse. I would like to see this painting. Are you in the Discord? Please let me see this painting. Ninin, are we even reading Danmei if there's no emotional pain? That's a good question. I'm presuming there's a section of Danmei that's just like all super cute fluff. Like coffee shop AUs and fandom. Right? Yes? I mean, there has to be. Right? Guys? Yeah? Fluff. Yes. Oh, get the heck out of town. Liv says fish book. And unless there's more than one, which I wouldn't put it past Danmei, if it's the fish book that we're talking about, are you talking about like that fish Mpreg book or whatever? That's fluffy? I've just read a blurb because I was trying to figure out what the heck it was. That's a fluff thing? Oh. Because again, I never put it past the concept, man. Not when it comes to Danmei or anime, donghua. I don't trust a premise. I literally have to see like what the genre is actually marked as, because man, you just don't know when it comes to Eastern media. They could have the silliest sounding premise and then rip your lungs out of your throat. Oh, Blue, it's very satirical. No, I can see that. The concept being, I cannot remember what the heck the actual name is, but just going off of Fishbook, yeah, one would assume that a premise like that would be satirical, but again, never trust a concept. No, you will get burned. You have to find out from a trusted person or genre tags, because I tell you. That's it. Thank you, Henry. The disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. Yes, that's what it's called. Oh, Blue said people were reading the fish book with Erha and comparing it to Barbenheimer. Oh. No, that makes sense. That would indeed be Barbenheimer. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even partake in Barbenheimer, actually. But I need to find a good, like, I need to find, like, my Barbenheimer. I need to find a good, counterpoint story to Erha. Because, unfortunately, I don't do Mpreg. So the fish book is out for me. But I do need to find something very, very light and fluffy. Misai said salad days and silent hearts. Is that a... Huh. I've never heard of that one, actually. I'm writing it down, just in case. River Bay Road. Oh no. I made the lovely mistake of inadvertently asking for recommendations. We always end up here. Anytime I have a live stream, for any reason, if I'm not very, very careful, we will end up in the recommendation spiral. A boxer and a ballet dancer, you say? Misai. Love. GT? I do not know what that stands for. Oh, those are two separate ones. Again, don't put it past Dan May. I feel like I missed one up there. Oh, Golden Terrace. That one actually sounds familiar, but I do need to write that down. Thank you, Blue. Where's my... There it is. I feel like there was a third note about Erha that I should have written down. Oh, yeah, there was. So, not to hijack my own topic, you can keep leaving Rex. I will be jotting those down anyway. But before I forget, also now Chuaning has like hopped back in time, and he's staring down Shuimeng and Shimei. And that's where it ended. Since we're coming up on the last bit of the stream, it's probably only appropriate that we discuss that he's now staring down Shuimeng and Shimei. Which, what are the nominees? The people who are more familiar with the source material. So rereaders, I mean, goes without saying without spoilers. What are the nominees of scenes that we have seen with the three of them when Shuimeng and Shimei were younger, that Chuaning could be about to go into? I asked that in a really convoluted way. What are the scenes that we've had with Chuaning and Shimei and Shuimeng that when we first read them, we would have assumed that it was OG Shimei, OG Chuaning, but we are about to learn in hindsight was a Chuaning who had just bamfed through time? Because I'm trying to remember, because I feel like there's at least one scene that could be about to be recontextualized. But, like, I can remember which one that would be. Liv says, wouldn't it have to be the ones directly when Mo Run was sent back to? Oh. Yeah. It would. Which I feel like narrows the scope a little bit. Like with... Liv also says, like with RJ. Is that Rongju? Or did I just pull that from a totally separate Dan May? No, I was right. Oh, good. Oh, Selfie says, I thought it would be the time when Mo Run was first poisoned with the flower. It's like that era in general. Yes, that's where he's been bamfed back to. That's the era he's in. But since he's about to go in with a conversation with Shuimeng and Shimei, then I guess it would be something from Volume 1. There is also, like, really good odds that that it's not a scene that's about to get recontextualized. but she makes me paranoid, so these are questions that I have to ask. Yeah, it would have been somewhere like at the very beginning, the start of volume 1, which explains why I can't remember specifics. Because again, that was like over a year ago at this point. Which I should at least, like, I wonder, are there any volume by volume, like, synopses that I could read to, at least broadly speaking, freshen my memory about volumes 1 through volumes 1 through 8, yeah. But anything like that? It would also just be a handy reference to have even after I finished the series. Because it's so freaking long. Ooh, thank you, Minkit, who says that the Erha fandom wiki has chapter summaries. Beautiful. I'm unbelievably terrible at finding stuff like that. Chapter summaries works beautifully, thank you. Fandom wiki. Chapter summaries. Back of the novels is good, is a good, very broad, synopsis blurb. Totally. But and maybe this is just me and my hyperfixations talking, but I love it when there's something more in depth than just what's available on the back of the book, but for like just for information about what happened with whom and when, not even necessarily a scene breakdown, although I'm known to kind of make scene breakdowns of some of my favorite things. It usually comes in the part where I'm taking it apart piece by piece to figure out how the fuck the author or filmmaker did whatever the hell they did. Is that a me thing? Henry! Oh my god, Shui Meng was always the dumb one. You're deeply correct about that, sir. Yeah. That's deeply, deeply correct. Speaking about the dumb one. Oh, I thought I hit my keyboard. Speaking about the dumb thing. I've mentioned how... I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny, you know? It is that Tae-Shan-jun with, you know, who's all the hatred, is the dumb one, and Mo-run, now kinder and gentler and well-loved and loving well, has more of a brain cell and is smarter and more insightful and everything, and how I appreciate that. There's a bit of nuance to it because the stereotype is that, you know, hatred, bigots, etc., all of those willfully ignorant people are just dumb. And there is something to be said about the fact that a lot of evil, and most times the most damaging evil, is actually very intelligent and very intelligent evil. That is kind of its own separate thing that, but I've always received the Mo-run being, or Tae-Shan-jun being full of hatred and also much dumber as not necessarily related to that stereotype, but more as like hatred as limiting. And limiting your faculties. Like when your mind is so narrow, it doesn't allow room for much else. And how that kind of hatred doesn't really see people and wouldn't be terribly insightful. it's just been a very like fascinating way to experience the love, empathy, opening up to generally smarter capacity. And that could actually be just a whole ass topic in and of itself. The way she does that and like why she's done that and how it plays out in this very specific context. All coming off the back of Henry's realization that Shui Meng is indeed the dumb one. And always has been. But we love him. If anything, listen. We can't hurt Shui Meng, right? We agree? Shui Meng will magically get out of all of this completely unscathed. With, like, his parents alive. He'll have a boyfriend by the end, hopefully. You know? We're just all going to agree. We're all going to assert our reality over meat buns in a work that has already been published and just all agree that Shui Meng's getting out of this unscathed, right? Yes. Blue says manifesting the Shui Meng shonen protagonist agenda. I'll join you in that manifestation. Oh, yes. And then meanwhile, Liv's mouth of prophecy is indeed shutting up at this moment. And we appreciate her for that. Thank you. Because Shui Meng's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. In fact, it's going to be comical how we're going to get to the end of the series and everyone else will have been laid to waste at some point in the story. But Shui Meng's fine. He's the only one who's like fine the whole time. It's fine. Oh, it's 2:55. I should be hopping streams at this moment. I thankfully glanced at the clock before I kept reading the chat. So, very, very quickly, just to end, yeah, the next chapter is called Soul Splitting, which someone's soul was going to get split somehow. We knew that much. And then apparently we get to find out exactly who did what and how and when. The when being particularly important. That's what we get to read today. So, I'll be over there in just a few minutes to start reading for the day. Thank you so much for chatting with me. It looks like... It looks like out of the poll, most of you, by a strong majority, are just like great as is. Very, very casual vibes. We're on topic a lot of the time, and then sometime we're not, and that's fine. But then if there's a runner-up, it's more chaos, which I really should have expected from this group. So feeling kind of dead dove do not eat at the moment. But unsurprising result from the poll. Thank you so much. I should probably actually end that. So I'm going to hop on over to the actual reading stream. Thank you so much for chatting with me. And I'll see you in just a few minutes to read whatever in this incredibly easygoing series. Alrighty? I'll be over there in a second.